Hi everyone, and welcome to Property Census Real Talk. I'm Cody Fraser, the founder of Property Census. Now it's time to find out what exactly is going on in the new property industry. Hi, Michael, how are you? It's good to see you again today.
Okay.
So we're here today to ask you a few questions regarding about what we're working on with Property Census, and really want to understand your position to see if we can better your position with your customers as well. Now, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Like what industry you're in?
Work as a financial planner, but I also do mortgage brokering as well.
Okay, fair enough. And so you're basically just helping your customers finding out how much they can loan to buy a house. And
Yeah, I'd like to think what I do is I structure their loans so that it's financially beneficial for the client.
Sure.
In line with everything else that they have. So that's why I just don't do the one aspect of it.
Fair enough. Okay. So the planning is a big part of it, but then also when they need the money, it's about seeing how much they can borrow as well.
Absolutely, that's the bottom line. They've got to be able to get the money.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. So in saying that, now once your customer can figure out how much he wants to spend and how much they can spend, do you generally shoot them off, to an agent or a referral that you?
At this stage, I don't. There's a couple of agents that I know, and I'll direct the client to those agents. But once again, it's like the agent is limited as to where they can either have property for that client, or maybe they may not have the property that best suits the client after doing an analysis with the client to see what type of property they might want and just how much it may cost.
And I guess for you, like the clients, finding the best option for that client is your highest priority generally, right? Whereas an agent may not be, they might have 5 options and they just want to sell one of those options for them, right?
Yeah, and we've got an ongoing relationship with the client, so it's not just a one-off sale. So it's making certain that what we do for the client is beneficial.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we want them to retire quite comfortably.
For sure. Okay. So, what's the biggest reason why you haven't been able to help that client out in the past? In regards to finding
the
right
property, simply just not having anything that I could direct them to. So,
so access to stock, basically. Or?
Yeah, like I'll get them to the point where they'll know what they can spend.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's a house or whether it's a unit or whatever it may well be, but then it's up to them to find that property.
Sure. Okay. And so you have a problem using agents because they only have a limited scope of availability in regards to what they can show the customer, which then might lead them down to not the best option for them in the market.
It's not bad. I mean, not all agents are bad, but
some
of them have the right stock.
For sure.
But they're just going to be a little limited.
Yeah, it's still not the whole picture, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, if you had something, whereas you could access all the stock and visualize the market in a way that you and the customer can understand, would you then need to send them to an agent?
I guess an agent would need to be there to do the sale, but
sure. But
I guess it wouldn't be off to a specific agent, no.
Yeah. So talking about new property industry, you have a project marketer for every development generally, right?
Yeah.
So if you had a buyer and you could open up the whole market to them and say, look, here's 500 projects, what you're looking for, and in your price range, considering the best options, investment side of things as well. Here's some options which actually look quite nice in the market for you.
Yep.
And then open that market and that data up to on those projects up to that customer, and then guide them through to those project markets who are managing those projects. Would that seem like more of a strategic way of going about it?
Yeah, I guess at least that way I can have a look at what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And if they want further guidance, well then I can assist with that.
For sure.
So that gives me a little bit more hands-on.
Yeah.
And they don't come back to me and go, oh, we just bought this property out of Woolport.
Yeah.
and I'm going, but that's not the parameters we were working within.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's good to keep a close eye on them a little bit, but I mean, I guess your position is still quite limited. You can't say this is the best one to buy. You can't tell your client, right?
Oh no, I can't be specific on properties, but I can give them a profile.
You can still give them a guide, right? And
yeah.
give them some, that's your planning side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, okay, so now, if you had that capability up your sleeve, would you give it a crack? Would you, say, here, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, here's the whole market, check it out, we can sit down with you together and run through it all, narrow it down to 10 options, then go home, connect them up with the project marketers. And
I'd be silly if I didn't.
Yeah. And hey, well, do you know how much they're making, like agents, and what developers could be paying you, and something that you can pass on to your buyer, right? If you didn't want to take it.
Yeah, I've got a fair idea of what agents make, but
it's on average like 30 grand in the market for any property industry, so for one sale.
If I'm putting some input and I'm taking up my time, and I can be paid for that in some way, that's ideal.
Sure. And if it's 30 grand and we're trying to reduce, I guess the cost of sale, but also empower those who are contributing to the sale as well, and create a more transparent, active market. So if you're helping your buyer, you're making some money. The buyer might even get some kickback there as well. It's for you if you want to,
if the buyer can get a benefit with something they can put towards the property.
Yeah.
Once again, it's just reducing costs for them.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, how about this? I'm going to open up that platform to you. We'll let you have fun with it, play with it with some of your customers, and introduce them to them. And if you do end up making a sale, we'll do another interview, and we can go from there.
Bottle of champagne.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I hope we can help with that and help your customers and help you create an additional revenue stream for yourself as well.
Brilliant. Thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today. For more information on The Better Way, check out propertycensus.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.